Hello and welcome to Watch Your Story. Our next guest has a very important, very interesting story. So stay tuned. Welcome, Dianne Steele.
Thank you so much for letting me be here with you.
And it is Judge Dianne Steele.
Yes, it is.
So we're really glad to have you here today. And you are running for Congress.
I am.
Okay, so we have a lot to learn about you.
I hope so. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so you've been a judge for how long?
I became a judge in 1997. And then I retired in 2019. So for 22 years I was a judge, and then in the 2019 I decided I was bored being retired, so I started doing senior judge work.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and that's a judge who's sort of like a substitute teacher, goes in when a judge is sick or out on vacation or whatever the situation might be. I did a lot of mediations, and I sat on the bench sometimes, whatever. And it's through the Supreme Court, so they have a program where you apply to become commissioned, and so I got commissioned. I did that for 3 years, and then I decided I wanted to run for Congress. And you can't do both.
Yes.
So I had to resign the commission to run for this office.
Now, why did you decide to run for Congress?
It dawned on me that the people who come into my courtroom are from all ranges of backgrounds and life and economics and everything. And they come in, and I was a family court judge. So I saw the income strife that they're having. I saw the relationship strife, the jobs, the businesses, how their businesses were doing or not doing well, because I had to divide them between two people, that kind of thing. I saw so much going on, and the only thing I could do was try to make a fair decision and divide their belongings and place their children appropriately. That was my job. But as a congressperson, I can maybe do something about the jobs, do something about the community. I can have some voice or input on it. And by listening to the people already in front of me, I got a real good idea of the things that we need. And of course, I'll keep listening to everybody who comes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I don't want to be like a rubber stamp for anybody. I don't want to be a dictator. Oh, this is what I think should happen, so this is how we're going to do it.
Right.
I want to be the voice, so I can't be the voice unless I listen first.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
And in the House of Representatives, you're not the House of Dictators. You're the House of Representatives. So that's what I want to do.
You want to represent people.
Right. I have some areas that I'm more concerned about, that really, like education. In my role as a juvenile delinquency court judge, too many times the kids that came in front of me, they do a little assessment before I place their punishment on them.
Right.
It's not a crime what they've done, but we try to give them some redirection and things like that. And most of the kids that would come through had a very low reading level, like
Really?
3rd and 4th grade, and they would be 17, 18, 16, 17, 18 with a 3rd grade reading level, because they just kept getting passed up and up and up. And I really think that we have gone way too far with the federal government telling us how we need to do our schools. So that's a real big thing for me. I want to get them out of our schools, the federal government, let Nevada do an assessment of what Nevada needs. What do we need to support our industries? How do we bring in new industries? We can't bring in new industries if our reading level is 3rd grade.
No, we can't.
So, and right now we're 50th in the nation.
I know.
It's the worst. We have the same income per student that we spend as Florida. And Florida's number 5 and we're number 50. So something's not working.
Something's not right.
Something's not working. And my theory is that the federal government has a platform. They want every child to have the exact same education. And that's not what's guaranteed. What's guaranteed is that they get the same education as everyone else in the state, not in the nation. We're the United States of America.
Yes.
We're not the uniform states of America. And so
that's a good point.
Each state, the East Coast has things they like to do, the farming community areas, the Midwest. I mean, they all have different needs. They have different populations. And I think that the education is better formed right there in the community. Okay, so if you're the head cheese in education in Nevada and you're not doing your job, it's easier to let you go than to get some cabinet person in the United States President's cabinet out of their job.
Right.
You're more answerable to me that way. The cabinet people are answerable to the president and all the people that he relies on.
Yes.
And I'm talking about, it doesn't matter what party you're in. I'm talking about we need to have more control, a better assessment, and by doing so and getting rid of the bloated education department, we can keep that money here in Nevada. Right now, the only way we get the money back is if, I use this example, it's contorted, so don't go statistically with me on this, but if I were to be a taxpayer and I paid $100 to taxes, and $20 of that goes to the education department in the federal government, what they do is they say, well, we'll give you some of your money back if you'll do this our way. So we need the money. We need the money, so we do it their way. But it doesn't always work for our students in our community.
Exactly.
So that's one of the things I'd like to really work hard on and focus on when I get up there.
That sounds right to me. That sounds right. Because, you know, we're not an industrial state. We're a hospitality state.
Right.
And a lot of the training that the kids get in school doesn't prepare them for the jobs that we have here in the state of Nevada. And it really needs to be looked at.
Yeah. And we need to start giving value to every job that's out there. It's not just valuable if you're a doctor or a lawyer or some big muckety-muck person. There's value in every job.
Exactly.
And so we need to have the people decide, or the children or the students, young or old, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? Not what do you think you have to do, you know? And guide them in that direction. Because if they want to be a car mechanic, they love cars, why do they have to go to college? Because the society expects college from everybody. I value my car mechanic.
Exactly.
You know, I'm glad somebody goes into that field or whatever field.
Right.
Every field has a value. Everyone.
It does.
So I think we need to start letting the people that are choosing what they want to be when they grow up, so to speak, let them know that whatever they decide is going to be a valuable thing. And then they'll enjoy their job better.
Right.
And then
they'll do what they want to do.
Right. They'll do what they want to do. They'll feel comfortable. They won't feel compressed or pressure, you know. And so, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at on that.
Well, I really like that
Yeah.
you have this issue about education. What else do you want to do?
I would like to lobby for fixing the DACA rules and laws or whatever. And we've had DACA here for a long time. Kids that have been brought here by their parents, and they didn't come on their own, but they couldn't be left behind in Mexico. Their parents are looking for something better for themselves and for their family, and so they get brought here. And then nobody does anything for a lot of years. And those individuals don't really have a home in another country. Now, I'm not talking about just Mexico. They come from all different places in the world. And they need to have some stability and some assurances from the United States right now as to what their spot is in our community. And every year, right about time for election, somebody throws the DACA thing up in the air, and everybody's mad on one side or the other. and we're wasting valuable time of progressing in our world on trying to decide how we're going to just kick this down and not resolve it so that we can use it as an issue in the next political election. It's a waste of our time. So I'd like to see some concrete things resolved for DACA. I'd like us to review our immigration system, because if it's true that we have 1 million spots that we fill every year or we permit to come, and 4 or 5,000 or 1 million are crossing behind our back, so to speak, that's what they say, you know, coming across without credentials or whatever, well, then maybe we need 6. Maybe we need more than 1 million. Maybe we need to reevaluate and make our needs more in line with what we're permitting to come in. That's kind of how I look at it. So we need to assess our communities, see what we need as far as, because everybody's not having 10 kids anymore.
No.
We need population, we need immigrants, we need new ideas, and to keep ourselves always alive. And we're not doing that right now by, you know, making general comments about whole groups of people.
No.
I was sitting last night just thinking somebody had written something to me, and I'm thinking, you know, we're wasting a lot of our time not liking somebody else that we've never met because somebody we never met told us that we shouldn't like them. We just need to live in our own worlds, like the people that we're around or not. You don't have to, but make up your own mind about each person. And I don't know about you, but most of the people I know, once I know them, I like them. And I don't care what their politics are. I don't care what their backgrounds are or anything else. You get to know somebody.
People are good people, basically.
You start to like them,
Yes.
right. And then you realize that you're on the different side of a fence somewhere along the line. And you go, oh, I shouldn't like this person. How can I justify it? It's a waste of time. We have so little time on this earth. We need to spend it having joy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't understand people who decide that they don't like someone else based on the fact that you might be of a different political party or a different race or a different religion or you're from a different state or whatever. And they just decide they just don't like you for that reason. And they just get obstinate. And I don't understand that.
And that too is a waste of time. If you're not in my party, for instance, and you don't like my party, and you're going to take your valuable time to dwell on it, to be mad about it, to write a note, to make a statement, to go to a march, to express that you don't like it. Just don't like it and move on.
Yeah.
You know, just say, okay, that's not a good fit for me. I'm going to go over here.
Yeah.
But all this derisive stuff that we do to both sides,
Right.
it's not benefiting anyone.
No.
Because everybody, if you already believe a certain thing, I'm not going to talk you into something else.
No.
Especially if I'm in your face or I'm doing a march against you and I haven't met you yet.
Yes.
You know.
But see, what I really appreciate about you coming on the show, being willing to come on the show and to be who you are, is that you're letting us get to know you.
Yeah.
And that's what we need to do, because so oftentimes I think when people vote, they don't know who they're voting for.
Yeah.
They just go there and they check a box. Oh, this is a woman. I'm voting for women. You know, we vote for women. Or, well, this name sounds good. Or I've seen this person on TV, and I feel like that's worse than not voting. How do you feel about that?
It's risky. It's throwing the dice. Maybe you'll get it right. Maybe you won't. For whatever your needs are from a elected official.
Yeah.
I know for a fact some people vote for me just because my name is Steele. Oh, that's a good, strong sounding name, you know. I appreciate that they do that, and I know it happens. And so I promise myself that I'm going to work harder for those people because I don't want to embarrass them. I don't want to let them down. So I try to just do my job, do it as good as I can, and make them happy to vote for me again. Only this time maybe they know me better. This time maybe they have a better perception of what I'm doing.
Right.
And maybe they'll vote against me, but at least they'll know who I am. And I will put myself out there as far as I can to meet people, to say hi to people, to just make myself a better representative for the community.
Right.
I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think your background really gives you a lot of empathy, a lot of knowledge, a lot of skill when it comes to dealing with people, and to also negotiating,
Right.
And facing up to really hard issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you have the background that makes you a perfect candidate for Congress. And I mean, I liked that about you when I first met you. I was very impressed. And I just feel so good that we're getting the opportunity to know you as a person, because so many times we don't get to know the people who are running for office. We might meet them and shake their hand for a few minutes, but to actually have a conversation and listen to what you believe, that's different.
Unscripted.
Yes, totally unscripted. I mean, people who know my show know we're always totally unscripted. It's very real what we do here, and I like that about my show. I really like my show. Thank you.
I like your show from what I've seen so far. I came to Nevada the second time in 1980. And I know what it's like to be a minor and your parents decide to move, because I lived in Nevada. I was in the 10th grade and my parents decided to move to Georgia. So I went from Rancho High School with several thousand kids in my class to Doran High School with 21 kids in my senior class. Right. So I know what it's like to be taken somewhere, because you have to go with your parents.
Right.
So I understand that element. But I came back in 1980, and I had my undergraduate degree in college. Took me 7 years to get it because I worked my way through. And then I got here, it was like, what am I going to do? You know, I really had no job skills. My undergraduate was in theater. So, you know, that didn't, you know, you can't just go to a movie store and say, hi, hire me, I've got this in my background. You know, that doesn't work that way. You can have a degree or not, they don't care if you're good.
Right.
So I went to law school, and I was working for a law firm as a bookkeeper, and I said, I think I can do that job. So I went to law school, and I got out, and a couple of years later I ran for judge because people asked me to, and I didn't win that race. But that was okay, because I shouldn't have. And
you were young.
Well, no, I wasn't young. I went to law school at 37.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, good for you.
I went to law school later in life because I said, I got to do something. I can't just be a bookkeeper, or that wasn't a good fit for me, sitting in a room not helping anybody.
Yeah.
So I went to law school. I got out. I ran for judge. I didn't win. Then I ran for the assembly, and I won. So I was a Nevada state legislator in 1995. Lieutenant Governor at the time, Lonnie Hammergren, asked me to be his chief of staff, so I did that. And I ran for judge.
Well, look at all the experience you have.
So I've got a lot of experience and knowledge. I've put together a lot of programs for the courts. I've worked with national committees, putting in helpful programs in our court system. For instance, the model courts here in Nevada are a product of a national model court program where we watch our foster kids better, and we make our decisions more timely because they're suffering away from their parents and whatever. So we have sped up. So we've done a lot of programs to help families, and that's always a good thing.
It is.
Donna's House Exchange, where you can exchange your child so that if the parents are at war, so to speak, that one parent drops off and leaves, and the other parent comes and picks up. So the child doesn't see the parents looking at each other.
Yes,
in a mean way.
Mean and bitter and speaking.
So that's been working out really good. Just a lot of little things that I've worked on. And then I just got so many opportunities from being here in Nevada. I really did. I mean, I didn't come from royalty or money or land, you know, but in Nevada, you can pretty much do a lot of things. You can do a lot of things with your life, and you just have to want to.
Yes.
You just have to want to. And I'm a product of that. you know. I didn't grow up in a log cabin or anything, but I am the oldest of 8 kids, and it was
Oh,
a kind of
are you?
little house.
Oh, wow.
But you just learn responsibility, you learn organization, you learn to listen to others, and that you're not the only important thing.
Yes.
And so I think I've benefited from that. And I just see our world kind of flailing around right now, looking for answers, and why can't we just get along? I mean, they're saying it on both sides.
Yes.
Why can't we just meet in the middle somehow and move on?
And we're really looking for leadership.
Yeah, the thing that they need, everybody needs safe streets. I don't care who you are. You want your kids to have an education and be healthy. You want to be able to have a job to provide for your family.
Right.
You want safety, national safety. You want all these things, but everybody wants the same thing. They just have a different way to do it.
Yes.
And if we could just figure out that conflict, because it's grown into a conflict more than just a discussion, I think the world would be better. I think our nation would be better. I mean, the people who are streaming here to live here, it's because our nation is wonderful. And so we need to strive to make it the place they want to be.
Yes.
They don't come here because they want to be treated the same way as the countries where they came from.
No.
They're coming here because they want a better life. And they see a better life here, and we need to maintain that better life. That's kind of another reason why I'm running for Congress.
Yes.
Is to try to help maintain that better life.
Yes.
So, yeah. You're so nice.
Thank you. Thank you. You know,
easy to talk to.
One of my big concerns, and this may or may not be a political issue, but I'm really concerned about our water.
I went to a meeting yesterday about the water, and it is a concern. I don't think it's an immediate concern, but it's something that we need to start. If we start planning now, it won't be a concern.
Right.
And I learned a lot of things about the River Commission and I think 7 states that are involved in the Colorado River planning. And they are working hard to, all of them together, see the needs of each other and meet those needs. Now, we're not meeting them exactly right now, and that's why the lake is going down and things like that. But they have expressed at that meeting yesterday that they have plans that they're working on in place for when the water gets to a certain level, what they're going to do next. They were going to take Walker Lake out, and they decided not to do that because the infrastructure that was supporting. And so then they went to Plan B, so that and they got some plans that I felt more comfortable knowing that they are actually every day working on it to make sure it's better. And you do need to listen to the water department when they say, please don't waste your water. If you're brushing your teeth, turn the water off while you're brushing, you know, that kind of stuff.
Right.
Conserve as much water as you can as an individual, and if we all do that, we multiply it out, we save a lot of water.
Exactly.
But they've had to take some measures like no green grass in the desert. Well, that's why it's a desert.
It really didn't have green grass to start with.
And importing it in isn't helping the water situation. But I felt a sigh of relief when I left that meeting that people are actively looking at what's going on, and they have plans out there, fallback plans and everything. And I felt very comfortable in our people that are working on that particular issue in our nation.
Oh, that's good to know.
Some people say they want the federal government to jump in and fix it, and I don't think that that's what they want.
No.
I don't think that's what we want. I think we want to work together as a community without politics involved and say, okay, I need this drop of water, how can I get it?
Yes.
And that's all we need to be talking about on that commission.
Right.
So, not which senator wants this and what congressperson wants that. So, I felt good at the end of the meeting yesterday.
Oh, that's good to know.
It was one of the meetings, the Bob Mayhew.
Yes. Yeah, they always have very interesting topics.
Yeah, I went specifically for that topic because people do ask that question.
Yeah. So what should we know about you that would help us make a decision to vote for you, to put you in that seat in Congress?
Okay. I think one thing you might want to know about me is I'm a workaholic.
I don't know that that's good.
Well, it's good for you, for the voter, because I do. I take my job seriously and my responsibilities seriously. If I get elected, it's a privilege, and I'm going to work as hard as I can to make sure that I do the job that I've been requested to do, and not overstep it or not ignore it and let it slide. I'm going to do the job.
Right.
So I love this community. I want everybody in this community to have a better life, and to make sure that I have something to do with how that works. I think by going up and maybe putting some more different ideas out there, maybe that instead of leaning one way or another, our nation could maybe stand up straight and start working together. That's my hope. I do know the law. I wrote statutes in the legislature. I was involved in that process, and I can do that again. And I'm willing to take information, and that's the biggest thing, from both sides, because that's what I've done for 22 years. That's why you asked me what to call me earlier before we came on. And my new first name is Judge, because I've done it for 25 years. But that first name has helped me to understand that when I'm reading about a family or a situation in my chambers before I go on the bench, I'm reading it and I'm going, well, this looks right and this looks wrong. And then I go to the bench and the people talk about their situation. And people write differently than they talk. And so where I might have been leaning one way on the written document, when you listen to people, you go, oh, maybe this is I understand now what's going on.
Right.
And you make a better decision if you listen to both sides and in all the ways that they can give it to you. So they give you information, they testify in Congress, you are able to ask questions, you're able to do research. I'm not allowed to do research as a judge. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
I'm not allowed to research. I can read my files and I can know the laws that apply to family court and everything, but I can't just go out and say, that guy's a ditch digger. Maybe I'm going to go over and talk to some ditch diggers and see how this thing works.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to do that. They have to bring the information to me. So as a congressperson, you can go out and figure it out. You can ask those questions. And so I'm excited about that.
Oh, I would think so.
I'm very excited. I'm allowed to now say where I stand, what's going on in my life, what's going on in your life. And it's just been very uplifting, so to speak.
Yes, yes.
It's been great for me.
I think it sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think you sound like a wonderful person to be doing this because you have a good attitude towards the whole thing.
Yes, yeah, I do. I think I do.
Yeah.
I do. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, tell my audience how they can get in touch with you or find out more about you.
Okay. I have I don't know where I'm supposed to be looking here. Okay.
Yes, right here.
I'm talking to you guys out there, so I wanted to know where you were. Okay, got it.
Good.
I have a website at Steel, STEEL, for, spell it out because I'm old fashioned, so FOR, Steel for Congress, .us. That's my website.
steelforcongress.us. We'll put that up on the screen.
If you have a question or you want to call me, my cell phone number is 702-812-0277.
That's amazing. You're going to give out your cell number that people can actually call you and talk to you?
Yeah, because
wow,
they
I
leave
love
messages and I get back with them. You can send me a text message. I have emails, so email is steelforcongress@gmail.com. So just, I can't communicate with you if you can't get to me.
Exactly.
That's the whole thing. Someone wanted to reach one of the other candidates, and they asked me if I knew how to reach them. I'm not going to say who it was, but I went on their webpage, and there was no phone number, and there was no email. And so I'm trying to reach them to tell them something that they need to know about.
Right.
And other people were trying to reach them, but there was no way to find them. Well, if you can't find them, or you can't reach them, or you can't leave your message,
how are they going to do the job
then how
for
do you know that I'm listening to you?
Exactly.
I mean, I'll listen. Maybe I won't agree with you, but
at least you'll listen.
I'm going to listen, and it is going to have an effect on my ultimate decision.
Right. I love it.
Yeah, that's how it works.
I love it.
So,
I can't thank you enough for that, because so often we try to reach people and we have no concept how to do that.
Right. So you can just, I'd say Google me, but there's this woman, congresswoman in California, and her last name is Steele. Same spelling.
Oh, wow.
So when you Google, sometimes you get her stuff or you get my stuff.
Right.
So make sure it says Cynthia Dianne on it.
Cynthia Dianne.
Because if it says Michelle, you're voting in California.
And we don't want to do that.
We don't want to do that. We want to vote for Judge Cynthia Dianne Steele in Nevada, Congress District 1, which is East Las Vegas, Old East Henderson, and Boulder City. That's my areas where you can vote for me. But you can tell all your friends who live there to vote for me too.
We'll do that. We'll do that for sure.
Thank
you so much for being here today.
I loved it.
It's been a pleasure.
It went by too fast.
I know it does always. I mean, I get great guests like you that I just so enjoy, and I think, oh, I wish I had another hour with these people. But
it was really great, and thank you for the opportunity to be here and to say hi to everybody.
But thank you so much, and thank you for joining us on What's Your Story. And if you have an interesting story that you'd like to share, just contact me, Judy@judymorio.com. And remember, spell Judy with an I and Morio like Oreo cookies with an M. Judy@judymorio.com. And we'd love to share your story as well. Bye now. Have a good week.
Judy, I really want to thank you for asking me to come down to Laughlin with you to the Florida Di Greco's Fine Art Gallery. I was blown away. I could not believe the size of that place and the amount of art that they had there. And you are now hanging some of your art there, right?
Yes, well, you helped me hang it.
Duh.
Yeah, it's absolutely a beautiful gallery. And she's got over 70 artists, incredible art, everything from realism to abstract to stained glass to sculptures. It's just amazing, all the different kinds of art that she has there in that one gallery. And who would expect to find that in Laughlin, Nevada?
I never would have thought that.
When I was first told about it, they said, oh, you've got to go see the art gallery in Laughlin. I was like, oh yeah, sure. And then I got there and it was absolutely beautiful. And there's such an array, such a choice of the kinds of art that are there that if you were looking for something for your home or your office, you would find it.
I couldn't believe the diversity of art that she has there. Like you say, there's sculptures, there's paintings, there's
jewelry,
just you name it, she's got it. And she is such a sweetheart. I really, really enjoyed meeting her and got the little tour, and yeah, that was awesome. And like you said, it's what, hour and 10 minutes down southeast of here in Las Vegas?
Yeah, it makes a nice day trip.
Oh yeah, and it's just to get out of town. I mean, it's too bad that we had to be back so soon.
Yes.
I could have spent the whole day there just walking around looking at the stuff.
Right.
So anyway.
And it's right on the river.
Yes. I can't believe how Laughlin has grown, and to have an art gallery like that, that's amazing.
It is amazing.
So guys, if you get a chance, take a couple hours, drive down to Laughlin to the big giant mall they've got there now, and check out Florida Di Greco's Fine Art Gallery. The information is on your screen. Thank you.